One type of camera that I wanted to try for a while now is a panoramic camera, and naturally the Hasselblad X-Pan comes to mind, but unfortunately it seems like someone has bought up most of them and now they are being sold for the price of a car almost. So yeah, unless I win the lottery, it doesn't seem like a very realistic option. I mean, I don't even know if I would like the panoramic format, so it's a bit too much to invest in such a camera. But of course, the advantage with the Hasselblad X-Pan is that it uses 35mm film. It doesn't just crop into one frame. I mean, I could do that with just any 35mm camera, just crop a frame to get a panoramic format. But the X-Pan actually just extends it, so you get a 24 by 65mm negative. So it's much better image quality than just cropping into it. So if I actually want to try the panoramic format, I need to get a bit creative. And one way of doing it is to load 35mm film into a medium format camera. Of course, even better way or better image quality way is to have a medium format back in a large format camera, but that's actually quite a big investment, so I want to try loading 35mm into a medium format camera. And I have the perfect candidate for this. This is a 6x9 medium format camera, a folder from like the 1930s or so. Of course, one problem or one obvious problem with this is that you cannot directly load 35mm film into a medium format camera. You need some kind of adapter. I mean, you could just tape the film onto the spools, but there are a few problems. First of all, the framing windows, I cannot use the frame counter, so I won't know how far I have actually wound the film, which frame I'm on. I mean, you can of course count how many times you should turn the knob and so on, but I think it's much easier to just find a way to get 35mm film into the backing paper of a 120 film. I get normal usage of the medium format camera features. Right, and that of course has to be done in the dark, and I have a changing bag for that, but this I cannot really show in video. Right, so I'm finally out photographing. It's been a while. I've been mostly inside looking at the cameras this last week, it seems. No, actually I have been outside taking photos also, but not really make videos of them. But in any case, so the reason I'm here at this location is to shoot panoramic shots with this folding camera which I loaded the film into. And I think this location is quite suitable for panoramic shots because of course the bridge is quite interesting with a lot of lines and it goes above the train yard, so there are the trains and train tracks and stuff. So I think I could make some interesting shots here. Unfortunately the sun went behind a cloud now, but maybe it will come forward soon because I would like to have some contrast in my shots, so I'll wait a bit. Alright, so let's see what we can line up here. Of course, one challenge when using this camera is the viewfinder. There's only this and this, so it's there to begin with not very exact. So I have to sort of crop in the middle a little bit to see it. Try to imagine what will come into the frame. First mistake of the day. I'd already shot one picture and I forgot to advance the film, so it will be a double exposure the first one. Well, should do it now while I remember. Take the same picture again. Okay, there we go. Check that everything is okay, the focus, and yeah. Me from the future here with bad news. This is where I would normally show the photos, but as it turned out, when I developed the roll, I was greeted by pure darkness. Yes, the whole roll had been destroyed somewhere in the process, and it turned out that the roll of film I was using had been fogged. I was using a bulk loaded roll of film, which I had loaded many years ago, so I don't know what had gone wrong in that. So I loaded up a new film into the camera, I went to the same location and took, well, similar photos. Couldn't really take the same ones because I didn't have them anymore. I couldn't really compare. And of course I did not go there at sunrise because I would have to wake up at 4 o'clock to be able to catch that light. So yeah, I'd have to go there during midday. But still I think these photos are relevant for this video because the purpose was to test a 6x9 camera as a panoramic camera for 35mm film. And yeah, I think I fulfilled that purpose. So let's continue the video. The sun is back finally, but I have to really say I like this location a lot. It looks especially good in the morning light, and I will definitely come here to take more photos, not just with this camera. But yeah, I hope my photos turned out fine, or we'll see. Maybe it's not wide enough, it's actually only 110mm. Okay, you get like 2.5 35mm frames next to each other, but yeah, I don't know, I'm quite curious to see the results. But I think I will do one more location than this. Since the sun came back, I want something which creates a bit more contrast. I mean, these lines are really fascinating and so on, but it can be quite easy to make very similar looking photos, so I don't know, how could I make it different? I need to think a little bit about that. Seems like I did it again. I forgot to advance the film before I pressed the shutter button. Right, so one more try, the same photo. And one thing I always forget with this camera is that the shutter button is not on the right side, it is to open the camera. Here is the shutter button. Yeah, well... a lot of things to get used to with photographing with this camera and also in this format. I don't know how my photos will be. I see it looks really nice in this finder, so maybe I should just use normal medium format film in it. Oh well. Maybe I will love the results. We have reached the end of the video. I'm happy to say that I'm quite positively surprised with the results. I mean, I didn't expect so much. The results, yeah, they're quite nice actually. This does not correspond to an X-Pan, of course. I didn't expect that. I mean, it's a 6x9 folding camera from the 1930s or 40s, so yeah, but it was quite a fun experiment and it was successful in the end, despite the hurdles along the way. In any case, thanks for watching and see you in my next video. Bye!